We are live on YouTube. Welcome to it. Oh, wait, my voice wasn't. It's the morning and my voice wasn't ready. Welcome to another episode of Soul Feeling. Wait, I gotta do it one more time. Welcome to another episode of Soul Feeling, where you get your soul fed. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Kobe.
I'm going to do that one more time. I wasn't recording. Okay.
Oh,
Welcome. Welcome to another episode of Soul Feeling, where you get your soul fed. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Kobe.
And today we are talking about supporting ourselves, being our own support system. Kobe, break this down. This topic comes from the topic queen.
Look, it's all Instagram. It's definitely an inspiration, a source of inspiration for me. And so I was just scrolling one day and saw something that said, be your gym partner, be self-motivated, be your best friend, be self-reliant. Don't rely on others to do that for you. Instead, be everything for yourself. And it just really resonated with me because I know how sometimes, especially, even in being in a relationship, how sometimes you can like wait or withhold doing certain things because you're like, oh, I want to wait on this person. I want to, not do this because I don't want to leave this person behind. Or if it's a fitness goal, you're like, you're not motivated to go to the gym unless somebody else goes. So if they have something to do, then you're like, oh, okay, well, shoot, like, since they ain't going, I'm not going. If they're not eating right, then I'm not going to eat it right. So we're relying on other people to, achieve our goals or to do things or to start something or to, do things. And so I don't know. I was just like, that's something we got to talk about and we got to hit on because at the end of the day, it's on you. And what that does, when you're relying on other people, it kind of creates this sense of resentment because then you're like, dang, I didn't, achieve this goal. I didn't go to the gym because you didn't go. And so, now I'm not, at my weight goal, or we didn't do this, we didn't start our business because you didn't have the funds. And, now I was waiting on you to get your half together. And now, we don't have our business. We're not where we're supposed to be. So it's just like, you have to be your own motivation. You have to be your own, supporter, because at the end of the day, it's on you.
Oof, I love this. I love this. This is perfect for the new year because so y'all know y'all already know if you listen to the Soul Feeling podcast, I love numbers as a form of signs. Okay. And so I be trying to avoid numbers because I be like in my number. So 111 has been my number for a long time, which means like I can manifest anything. 222, working collaboratively to manifest your dreams. But lately randomly I've been seeing 777, which is really weird because it's not something that comes on a clock or anything like that. But I was like, let me go ahead and read about this because I'm like, since you want to just pop up all the time, let me go read about it. And so yesterday I read about it and it said, basically, you have been preparing yourself. You have read all the books you possibly can. You have listened to all the podcasts. You have prepared yourself. Now is the time to apply that knowledge. And I was like, you're right. Because I'm like, what else do I need to learn? What else do I need to do before I take this action? So this is something that I learned about called extreme ownership. And that's taking extreme ownership of your business, your life. And when you take extreme ownership and extreme responsibility, you no longer blame your circumstances, you no longer blame the people around you. You take full ownership for what's going on in your life, because though we don't, there's things that we can't control and things that aren't aren't in our control, it's in God's control. There is a lot of things that are in our control. Like one of my biggest distractions is Instagram. I realized that where I'm like, oh my God, I spend so much time scrolling. It'd be so fun though. But that time that I was talking about in the prior podcast, that I'm like, oh, I ain't got that much time. I ain't got that much time, but I got all the time in the world to scroll on Instagram. So it's like, yes, you do have time. But where is your time going? And I just think this is a perfect topic to go into the new year with, because we have to hold ourselves accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this topic is definitely in alignment. And for me, y'all know how I'm a put people first kind of person. I love to love on my family, love to make sure y'all good, love to make sure this person's good, love to make sure, the people around me are good. But then that accountability piece always, because like Kobe said, you hit something real on the head. Like it can create resentment toward other people because you're projecting as to why I didn't get things taken care of because of you wasn't there on time, or because of you wasn't insensitive, you were insensitive to my goal, or whatever the case may be. But I learned, and I was on the phone with my dad the other day, and I was venting to him about a situation that was going on between my mom, my sister, and me, and they were just getting on my nerves. And he was just like, he said something that was so profound, but it was so simple. He was like, let them deal with that. Stop always coming to the rescue. And I was like, oh, you just gonna be Dr. Phil in my life like that, Daddy? Like no, it was just, and I was just like, wow, I don't have to rescue people. Like I'm my own person. Y'all all people. Y'all are adults, and those things, because I have in my mind a certain way, a structured way. I want people's, not even people's lives, but like if I'm in that, in people look to me as the head, and if I'm in charge of a certain thing, like such as the bills being paid, the whatever the case, the mortgage, all these things, insurance, I'm like, okay, I want it to be done on this date, and then if it's not, I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? But I have to let people figure that out for them. And then that way it frees up my mental capacity, my time, so that I can really, really put forth effort and get things done. And when I tell you, this week has been like a tremendous week of personal growth, me getting things done for myself that I've been wanting to do since I've been talking about for years, I feel like, and I finally solidified it and put it down, and like what Tiff said, took that action piece. Is like I was stuck, so much so because I was helping other people. I was stuck in this, what they call the analysis paralysis stage, where I'm just trying to learn up everything in the whole entire world. I got all the information, I bought all the courses, I read all the books, and I'm like, okay, now when am I just going to apply all this information that I'm learning and I have learned? But it's just, I don't always have to be going to the rescue for other people, and I always don't have to depend on other people, like Kobe was saying, to be there to be my workout partner, or to be there to walk me through the process to get started. And I was just like, hey, this is a huge shift. I already feel it already. Like things are just, doors are opening. People are like, the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. People are just coming in my life like from full circle. I got a call last night from my friend from college that like literally has a major piece to something I'm working on. It was like, I'm gonna introduce you to one of my mentors. I'm like, it's just crazy. Like you think you got to be there for everybody else, but when you start showing up for yourself, doors just start flying open. It's just amazing how it just works.
Yeah.
It's just,
Girl, I want to say so many things. It's like, I really want to see that dang J. Cole song. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Some people don't want to be saved, but that's why it's very important to save yourself first. And I'm saying this because I had a good week too. had a great week. I think there's something in the atmosphere. The collective universe wants us to have a good week. Okay. But I realized like when you're putting yourself first, when you're taking action, that makes you happy because you are deciding, you're like, oh, I did this. I'm taking action. I'm taking full ownership of my life and I am happy. And when you are happy, then you have the ability to go back and pour into others. If you're not making money, there's no way you're going to be able to help out someone else to give them your last few dollars. I'm like, you can, but like you have to set yourself up first, and then you'll be able to give back, but you can't be hanging by a thread and then giving that one thread to someone else, which we all are big on serving others. But if you can't serve yourself first, where can you go? And there was this Instagram post, but I think her name, if I mess up her name, don't come for me, but it says it's just okay, just know her last name is Hawk. If you go to my Instagram, this very quote is on there right now, and it says, "You don't have bad clients," and you could just put that client as in to anybody. You don't have bad clients. You have poor boundaries. So we have to put boundaries in place, to make sure our lives run smoother, or it'll be just drained, and you be mad like Kobe saying at the other person, resenting them when all along it had nothing to do with them. You allowed them to soak up your energy. You allowed them to call you at 2 o'clock in the morning. You allowed them to put all this extra stuff on your plate. If you just were better with your boundaries and give yourself the respect that you want from others, then you wouldn't have this problem. And so I just want to put that into the atmosphere.
Yeah. I did want to hit on something and expand on something you hit on earlier about taking ownership and not making excuses. And I know for me, y'all talked about analysis paralysis and reading up a lot. But for me, where I get stuck with the self-motivation part is it's three things. It's mental blocks. Like I have these mental things. I'm having to jump over these mental hurdles, the fear, and then the emotional blocks. And so I'll give some examples. The mental block might be, I don't know where to begin. I don't know. We talked about it in previous podcasts, like with as far as job hunting and figuring out, which lane I'm gonna go in. So I had this mental block of I don't know where to start. I don't know where to begin. I don't know what avenue to choose. And so therefore I'm not motivated because I'm like, I don't know what to do. So the first thing is just to make a decision to start, to do something. For those people who do struggle with, that I don't know where to begin. Just start. And as you are, beginning to do it, you decide, hey, you know what? This was a good decision. I'm going to continue this, or nah, this not for me. This is not it. I'm going to try this other thing. Like, it's okay to figure it out as you go. I think a lot of times, us as people, we just think like, damn, once we make one decision, we got to stick with that decision. And it's that for life. And it's like, no, you can change your mind. You can change your mind.
Yes, can I say something on that real quick?
Yes.
Yeah, because emotional, and that's why you see so many quotes. It's like, do it whether you're tired, do it whether you feel like it or not. Just do it. And the thing is, with me too, sometimes I'm like, I don't start because I don't know how to do something. But but if we take a step back and we look back, look back on our actual lives, when we were younger, even a few years ago, we had more of a childlike expectation. When we started Inspire Fire, it wasn't like, how do we do this? We said, okay, let's just do, we want to help people learn more about healthy living. All right, let's do this. Let's call this organization. When we said we wanted a podcast, it was like, oh, we should really do a podcast. It wasn't, no, Now let's this long out drawn out plan. It was like, let's do it. We learned along the way. We still got things to learn, but you just have to do it. But as we get older, I think because we have more responsibilities, we've learned so much, we've seen so much that it kind of stifles us, and we don't have that kid like mentality, that childlike mentality. It's like, oh, let's do it. But we have to get back to that and leave that worry and all that beautiful knowledge that we have that we'll need. But first, we have to just go in it and just going into it like hopeful. Like, okay, I don't know anything, but I want to do this and I'm just going to do it.
Yes. Can I say something on that too? Because it's like we paralyze ourselves and put ourselves in this little box, and it stops you from even doing anything at all. And it's like you will look up and it'll get like 5 to 10 months down the line and you like, dang, I still ain't even started at all. And so it's just like, we, like you said, like Tiffany, both of y'all just said, we have to be okay with figuring it out as we go, y'all. It's so powerful. And the reason why I think we get so scared is because we've been programmed to not be okay with making a mistake. We look at mistakes as failures, and like everybody gonna think I didn't know what I was doing, or I was wasting my time, or well, she thought she was on, just the thoughts that we tell ourselves in our head, like just for even starting something. And it comes from that conditioning from as early as school, when, we're taught that that mistakes are a bad thing. Like if you take an exam and you fail it, then you're going to get in trouble because you made an F. And so we take that same thing over to our adult life. If you start something and you fail at it, then you're going to be looked at by like a sense of punishment. Like people going, look down on you. Your self-esteem will get lower. Like, oh, I really can't. What was I thinking? And so that's just not realistic. That's just not ways of anybody that's trying to be successful. It's like, it's so much more powerful to just start something and mess up. And then when you get to that mess up, just reorganize your game plan. Like, okay, that didn't work. So let me find another way to get through this barrier so I can push through, versus, oh, that didn't work. I guess this wasn't for me. So I'm just going to hang that up. That wasn't a good thing. I just posted this video on Instagram that I saw on TikTok, where he was talking about how people get stuck in these cycles. And he said, we'll see something, drop shipping look good, or selling stuff on Spotify, or starting, any of the new hot fads that's on, and then you go through that, I'm gonna try this space. And then you get to the next cycle, and then the cycle, like, oh, you learn a little bit about it, then you start doubting, like, this is actually a lot harder than I thought it was. And then you try to kind of go again a little further, and you like, this is way harder than I thought. What was I thinking? Let me go try something else. And then you go back and you just constantly recycling yourself over and over again, starting, stopping, and then starting something else new. Starting, stopping, then starting something else that is new. And so it's just like, no. We gotta, and it's not to say you can't start something and figure that this thing is not for you along that journey, but you still also have to push through. You have to see things through. That's the only way anything gets done, because everything you do is gonna be hard. It's like, that's just reality. I just have to put it out there. Like, it's gonna have some challenging piece of some back end that you may not like doing, something on this side that's just maybe out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's a networking and you're not the most, you don't like to talk to people. You could be shy. It could be a plethora of anything, but finding a way to push through that will, it creates it creates high self-esteem, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of like, oh, I did that. Like, so we really, really, really just have to figure it out as we go, because if we're trying to learn, we will never, ever, no matter what field you are in, you will never learn all that there is to learn about this field. Like, you can learn a lot and you can learn some basics. And I'm not saying, don't do research at all and just throw yourself out there. I mean, with, it's different. Sometimes if you're the type of person where you won't move unless you just go out there and do it and figure it out, then it may be, what I'm trying to say, it may be different for everybody. I can't say you need to learn everything. You need to take 2 months, 5 years and to learn the ground, the basics. Or you could be a type of person where you just start and you start like you're a figure it out type of person as you go. So you just have to see what type your personality type you have to figure out. But you do want to, it's just tricky. Just start though.
Well,
Just
I
start.
do have like one last thing to say about mistakes is because like you have to the only way you learn is by making mistakes. And I like that you said we don't learn that in school, but at the same time we do, but we don't see it like that. When we have a math problem, we have to work it out. We make mistakes and we're always trying to get better, like and get that's why we have continuous homework, like okay, let me get better on this and find our spots. But the only way to learn from something a lot of times is to fail, is to fail first. And then you're like, oh, now I need to do this. You learn from your experience. And like you were saying earlier, we don't, we be scared about what other people are going to think about our failures. And I was having a conversation with someone the other day. It's like, we be so scared of what other people think. They ain't worry about you, sis. Go ahead and do your job. They worry about themselves. Go ahead and do it. So what's the
Yeah.
next one gonna be? Because I know we gotta wait
Yes.
on that.
No, that's perfectly fine. The next one is the emotional blocks for me. And so I did want to look at it's this website liberationist.org, and it just dove deep into what emotions are. And it says emotions are an instant response to a specific trigger. Our brain releases emotional chemicals in half a second. The whole body experiences this instinctive reaction that lasts just for 6 seconds. And
Wow.
so I just really wanted to talk about how our emotions um, affect our feelings, and then eventually affect our mood, and how this can motivate or not motivate us to do things. And I know for me, I'm the type of person to be like, to want to do something, right? Have this end goal of, ooh, I want to look good, right? But then when it comes down to it, I have this feeling about working out. I don't want people looking at me. I'm uncomfortable. We might be 10, 20 pounds overweight, 50, whatever it is. I'm uncomfortable with how I feel and how I look. I don't want to look stupid. You just have these different emotions about going to work out in the gym. And I don't want to go on the machines. I don't want to go to a class. You just have these emotional blocks that prevent you from doing things, because in your mind, you're going through these different, I don't want to do this. I don't want to look like this. I don't want to feel this way. And in hindsight, it just prevents you from doing everything that you want to do. So really have to tap into those emotions, whether it's anger, fear, anticipation, sadness, whether you distrustful, disgust, whatever it is. You just really have to work through those emotions.
Yeah. I think it's something like, well, what I'm learning more is like stop depending on your emotions and just depend on data, depend on the logical the point of things. Because especially as women, we're very emotional. We so
Mm-hmm.
intuitive, and that's why we have a great that's why we need a great balance of masculine energy. But like we have to be more logical and database, like okay, I might have all these damn emotions, but the data says if I eat right, go work out every single day, if I have a bomb ass morning routine, then I'm going to see progress, instead of like all these overthinking, all these emotions. Stick to the facts and move forward. And we don't have to overthink. If I send out this many emails every week, this will happen. If I implement this system, this will happen. And stick to it instead of the emotional, oh, do I have this? Oh, do I have that? Am I ready enough?
What are they gonna think of me? What are they gonna, yeah.
It's in a lot of people struggle with the what I think the number one thing that actually stop us is thinking about what other people think of us. That's it. We worried about each other. We worried about each other, but we need to worry about each other in a different way. We need to worry about each other in a sense of, I need her to go out and do the best she can. I need her to never stop giving up on her dreams. I need her to create the life that she truly desires. I am very inspired when I see people going after their dreams, because I've seen it come to manifestation. There's so much beautiful talent out there. And it's just like, instead of looking like, you know, I don't, we don't even do that, but it's just like, we should give out the energy of like, wow, we could really create the life of our dreams. And I'm not worrying about what anybody thinks about it. Because at the end of the day, we have to be our support system. We are the ones who are living our life. We have to be okay with looking like a fool. We have to be okay with putting ourselves out there, and it's a practice. So let's practice being ourselves. Let's practice putting ourselves out there so it can come easy to us. It's not easy. Society hasn't taught us to be easy for us to be ourselves, because they put us into these societal norms. But we don't have to be like that, especially in this day of age. So it's okay if it's not coming easy to you. It's not easy to be yourself for some reason, because of all these things that are coming to us, but just practice not giving an F.
Man, that's all I was gonna say. Literally, my dog is in the background. He's mad at me because he in the cage. This is normally the time he eats. He in his kennel, but I'm gonna let you out, babe. But anyway, he might be crying in the background. Leo. But but no, that part where you said we get so caught up on what other people are saying about us and how they may think, whether it's a family member, like, and mainly that's what it be for me. It's like the people that are closest to me, I don't want to disappoint them. My mom, my aunts, mainly my grandma, my dad. And it's like they're projecting their life's experiences, like, because certain doors wasn't open to their generation.
Oh, keep going, my bad.
Certain doors wasn't open in their Leo. Shh. Thank you. Okay. So certain doors wasn't open in their generation. I'm so sorry, y'all. But yeah, I'm gonna just make it short. Certain doors wasn't open in their generation. So therefore, it's like they're seeing when they were coming up, they're seeing all of the limitations that, block them. But we're in a new day and age. We're in a new time where we can literally, like, this is America. Like, although all of the systematic rah that may be going on, but at the same time, people are persevering and thriving like never before. Like, this is the information age. So much, like, YouTube is teaching people things that people had to go to college for and get doctoral degrees to get, and things that they don't even teach you in school. You getting it right there on your own Google search. And so it's just like, this is the time more than ever to don't even care if you look like a fool. Don't even care about what somebody would think about you. Or Leo, you really missing my thoughts. But yeah, like, don't even care. Like, who the hell cares what somebody says if you are doing it with the purpose? All right, I'm out.
And Jazz, most of the time no one is looking like a fool. Like, I don't know one person that I'm out there like, oh, you look crazy. No, it's just like, okay, I see you out there. It's us putting our own limitations on ourselves. Nobody thinking. I think we are just so self-serving. I don't know, to think that everybody really cares about what we personally got going on. Like, yo, we all live in this life. We all have different obstacles, trials, and tribulations. Really, we should all be out here trying to help each other, trying to get over these roadblocks. But at the end of the day, everybody's thinking about themselves, and and that's okay, because they ain't thinking about you.
Well, I'm gonna take that back, because I did try to go and, like, talk to one of my family members, and I was telling them, like, yeah, I'm about to start real estate, and they were like, nah, don't do that. That's what happened in the 2008 crash market, and people lost everything. They was losing their entire life savings and this, and it was just like, Oh, okay. So that's when it goes to last week's podcast, protecting your dreams, like knowing who, because some people, they're just thinking from their own personal experiences. I had such and such, Susanna, my friend of mine, she lost everything and she had to go live back in an apartment. She had to sell her house after that because she was a real estate agent. And it was just a lot of negativity that was, and then my dad, like, that's a lot of money. Where you going to get some money to do something like that? I'm just like, okay, y'all. And so it people are kind of projecting their, and what maybe they're not thinking about you, and outside people, I really don't think they're thinking about you, but your
Yeah,
family
outside people.
sometimes they can, they just trying to look out for you. They don't want you to be ended up down and out like XYZ was. But that's why it's important to do your due diligence. You have to do your own research. You have to figure out ways where to be recession proof. You have to look and look into things. If you are going to make drastic life changes, you have to look at all the ins and outs and find exit strategies and find, different plans and put different systems in place that will protect you in those times. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, definitely.
No, that's good. What was I gonna say? Yeah, sometimes those outside inputs aren't going to be like you can't just ignore them. You can't just be like, oh, whatever, you can't just throw them to the side. You are going to have to look at those things and, acknowledge it and take it in and say, okay, how can I overcome this? How can I work through this? That is a good point. That's a valid point. So what am I going to do to overcome this hurdle versus letting it prevent you from, being motivated to do whatever it is that you are trying to do. That is the thing that we're trying to get at here, is that, regardless of whether it is deeply rooted within yourself or whether it's coming from outside sources, there are going to be hurdles, there are going to be obstacles, but you have to, make that decision to overcome them. To
You
say,
do.
okay, this is a marathon, this is a race, so I'm going to do this regardless.
Totally agree. And I'm gonna pull up. We actually got a message from one of our listeners, and she talked about that exact thing from last week's podcast. She says, listening. Oh, is it listening now? And I think you brought up a good point about having the right people around you when you're talking about your ideas. When I started my business, I would share my ideas with a friend who would project their own insecurities on me. Fortunately, I'm lucky enough to have other people in my life who have their own businesses that I can look up to and bounce ideas off of. Thanks so much for your episode. I just started my business back in August, so I found it really useful. And I looked at her Instagram. She basically does like eyelashes, and it like, y'all know I'm not into any eyelash type of thing. That's just me. But I'm looking at her side. I was like, this look really natural. She said it was cruelty free. Her layout was bomb. I said, oh, our self-filling listeners are amazing. And she's like, you don't even need glue. You don't need glue. It's not magnets. It's like you just stick it on. I said, okay, this sounds like the type of lashes. If I was to wear it, I'm gonna do that. But it's just like she could have let that lady, her friend, someone close, like you're saying, someone close, because I wasn't even thinking about people close to you saying stuff. People, but she decided to do it anyways, and not let other people's insecurities or fears project on her. And look at her, she over here popping. And I'm by the end of the episode, I'm gonna find what her shop is, so y'all could go over there and support our soul filling listeners. So
Yes, I love
Yeah,
that. So
I love
glad that you
that.
shared that. And that's real
Yes.
because
And
I
on the
even had
last
another.
thing,
No, oh no, go for it.
no, go.
No, I was just gonna say that's crazy because I even had another family member that said that they were gonna start going to the lash business, and then another one of my family members like, "Oh Lord, such and such want to do lashes now." Just the negativity. But it's like people can truly thrive and flourish at no matter what it is, what platform it is. There's no platform too big, no idea of yours that's too small, like for you to think that you're incapable of thriving at that thing. As long as you have, oh, you found it too. As
Yeah.
long as you have that burning desire, that definiteness of purpose, that focus, and you don't quit in spite of what anybody says, you will thrive. You will truly, truly thrive. But yeah, go ahead and share, Tiff. And Kobe,
Oh
you
no,
have something you wanted to say.
I was just trying to show I was just trying to see if I could show y'all on YouTube. So y'all know you don't mind me. But it's called Off the Clock Look. Y'all, it's cute. Y'all, it's real. It's Off the Clock Look on Instagram. Packaging is cute and everything. But with saying that, Jazz, I totally agree. And it brings up the point of there is abundance, yo. There is abundance in the atmosphere. Listen to this. I was just talking before Kobe, before you hopped on, Jasmine and Kobe were just talking about different programs to learn more about like influencer marketing and stuff like that. And I was talking about how I really, really want to take this one girl's course that I resonated with, Vic Styles. But there's this other course that's from someone else that I'm like, I know this probably works pretty well too, but I really like, and this lady has way more followers than Vic Styles, but I resonate with Vic Styles because I like her content, I like her aesthetic, and people sometimes stop themselves because like, why would anybody listen to me? I don't have that many followers. They would definitely go with this person who has hundreds of thousands plus followers. They have this mentorship program, but no, people are looking exactly for what you are presenting to the world that you particularly resonate with. There's 7 billion people in this world. That means there's abundance for everyone. Everyone could get out here, be out here getting money, living out their most amazing life because people are looking for exactly what you have. And I think it's just important. Like I know this is where I'm gonna go for lashes. Okay. If I ever come upon it, because I like that it's cruelty free. I like that it's easy to put on, and this is not sponsored at all. And I like that it looks very natural. So go for it. Doesn't matter if anything's populated. Because why? Because the world is populated. Okay. So
I mean, the last thing I was going to say about those emotional blocks is just that idea. The other side of it is just not wanting to do certain things. You know, certain activities aren't as glamorous as other things. And it's just, and that's in every job and every goal, you know, whether it's working out, whether it's, you know, working for yourself, whatever. There are going to be certain activities that you like to do more than other things. Even to your day-to-day life. Some people don't like cleaning. Some people don't like doing laundry, whatever, folding clothes, washing dishes, all of that. So, you know, the thing is, you know, pushing through and working through those emotions, regardless of what it is. You have to push through and you have to work through them. And then the last thing is just, you know, fear. Fear is still an emotion, but it's like its own thing. And really, the one thing I just want to say with that is just that positive outlook. Instead of, you know, thinking about things negatively and thinking about all these reasons why you can't achieve something and why you can't do something, you know, for every excuse that you have, or for every fear that you have, you know, think of something positive, that, you know, outcome that will come out of you doing whatever it is that you want to do. And, you know, it takes time, but I want to challenge everybody to do that. Instead of thinking of the negative things that could happen, think of the positive. And a lot of times, you know, it takes us, you know, until it's kind of too late, or until we're in our last moment, you know, for us to kind of kick into that full gear of wanting to being self-motivated. It's like, it's not until you have a child and you like, damn, okay, this other person is depending on me, you know, where you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, you know. But when it's just you, like, why do we have to wait for other people or other things to motivate us when you can just motivate yourself? So that was really just the whole thing for me today. It's just, you got to motivate yourself.
I feel like one, I know we gotta go
Yeah,
ahead,
go.
but what I'm hearing from Kobe is commit to yourself before you commit to your baby, your husband. Commit to yourself, because when you commit to yourself, you're gonna be able to give out more. Secondly, I love that you bring up the everyday things, the mundane things that we don't want to do, and this is really crucial because I was just talking to my brother about this. I was like, "Oh, I finally figured out. I know what I want to do." Blah 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 blah. And my brother was told me this. He's like, when I left my job and I worked full time, and then I decided to leap to make the full time position for myself, I was making as much money. I proved to myself I could make more money doing my entrepreneurship than I could do working my 9 to 5. And then, well, his was like 3 to 7. So this is very important. This is something I need to hear because we glamorize entrepreneurship and stuff like that. But I had to remember, oh yeah, he woke up so early in the morning, went to work, spent 8 hours a day at this job, got off, worked on his entrepreneurship. Once that entrepreneurship was making enough money, he then left his job because he proved to himself already. So yes, we have to do the mundane things. We have to do the things we don't want to do, but make sure that you're working on the things that you want to do so you can finally move on. And it's okay. So many people have done it.
Yeah.
So many people. Dang, I just want to say 1,000 things to both of y'all points, but I can't. So, yeah, that those are great ways to end, guys. Great ways to end. So, what time is it? It's affirmation time. It's affirmation time. It's affirmation time. Y'all, this is your first time tuning in on the Soul Feeling Podcast. We always end our podcast with a positive affirmation. So, what the heck is an affirmation? An affirmation is any statement that you are choosing to transform your life. Either you're choosing to transform your life for the good, or you're choosing to transform your life for the not so good. Even in the Bible, it states, let the weak say. Keyword is say. So it says, let the weak say, I am strong. So on them days you feeling down and not sick and tired and not feeling like your best self, still affirm uplifting things into your life. Affirm that you're getting better and better. You always overcome this. You always get through this. You always persevere. You always thrive. It's three of us, and I'm affirming that there are millions, billions, trillions of y'all out there tuned in. And we're going to go ahead and end this thing off with our positive affirmations. So, who wants to go first?
I am thriving in life. I am flourishing that in all that I can do. I am powerful and I am taking full ownership of my life and the life of God to give me.
Ooh, yes, I received that. I am. I feel like this is something Kobe probably gonna say because she always does this too. But I am my own support system. I am putting myself first. I am pouring into me. I am making sure I am full. Therefore, I will be able to really, really, truly live my divine purpose.
I love it. I love it. I am committing to my goals and my dreams. I am leaping over these emotional and mental hurdles.
Yes, we got you,
Yes.
soulmates. Make sure that you're following us on everything. Soul Filling Podcast, SoulFilling podcast everywhere on social media and on all our platforms. We are now on YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, and of course, Apple Podcasts. And if you're listening to us anywhere, we need you to go to Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rating, and write something soulful and sweet. We love you guys so much. We got this. We're committed to you, but we want you to commit to yourself.
Yes. Until next time, soulmates. Bye. We love
Bye.
y'all.